Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Clarissa, that's the best shirt I've ever seen, ever. And I can agree that that's what you should be thinking because this is the best shirt ever. And I was so graciously gifted it for the holidays. So, thank you to Aaron, who also got me this Gucci watch. We'll talk about that a different time. I'm so spoiled. Okay, anyways. First of all, welcome back to the table, everybody. Today, we're doing holiday prep. Deviled egg time. We're not making deviled eggs, but we are doing something very fun today. I started this a couple years ago where I decided to, every year for Christmas, make the cake that is on the cover of the holiday edition of Southern Living magazine. Now, this has a lot of lore to it, and unfortunately, I'm going to tell it to you right now. So, my whole life, my mother has subscribed to Southern Living magazine. She's a big fan. Big fan of this, even though we live in Pennsylvania. When I moved out to go to college, as like a thing to keep me connected to home, she decided to gift me a subscription to Southern Living magazine. So I have had it my whole adult life. With every place I have moved to, every different part of my life, I have always received, not consistently Southern Living, I'm looking at you, but I have received many a copy of Southern Living magazine. Then, a couple years ago, I was like, okay, I think every year at Christmas time, we should switch up something that we're doing, because I feel like every year my family eats the same thing at the holidays, and I don't know, something within me was like, let's start making these cakes. So I'll add in the photos of the other 2 years that I've done it. Last year I was very sick, so that's why that photo looks like that. But this year's cake is this white poinsettia layer cake. Okay, she's gorge. She's beautiful. The goal is to get it looking somewhat like this. But honestly, the goal is to just have fun. I always like to say that I am a cook, not a baker. But I also firmly believe that if you can read, you can cook. So we're just going to read the recipe like a ton, okay? We also have to make cranberry sauce to take to Christmas, but we're going to be doing that on the side. So, let me read you what's going on in here, all right? So, it's a brown butter cake, and we're going to do circle, and then it has cranberry orange filling, very festive. Last year's cake was like a fruit cake, like a soft fruit cake. It had like maraschino cherries and pineapple in it, and like lots of spices. That was really good. So this year it's more like standard cake filling, and then it has whipped cream frosting. And then they also tell you how to make the white chocolate leaves on it. I wasn't going to do that, but because we're filming it, I'm going to attempt, okay? And we're just going to roll with it. It says in total, this is going to take us 9 days. I'm just kidding. It's probably, so we're going to make all the components today, the cake, the filling, and the icing. And we're going to work on the leaves. And then we're going to assemble it tomorrow night. Because currently it is this is Sunday, the 21st of December. So I have to travel with this cake on Tuesday. No one's going to eat it till Wednesday, though. So I don't want the filling to be like setting, but I also don't want this to be like, I don't want it to get soggy, but we need a lot of time for this thing to get assembled. A lot of things need to chill. A lot of things need time to process, think about what they've done in life. So we're going to prep a bunch of stuff today to assemble it, and it should be good by Christmas. If it gets a little soggy, that's none of my business, okay? We do what we can. We're just doing this for fun. And I still think regardless it's going to taste good. It looks so good. Do you want to see a picture of the inside? Look at the inside. She's gorge. You know, a little hint of color. That's what we're going for, okay? So let's see what we can do. We're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna figure it out. That's always what we do here at this table, right? So let's get into it. You might notice I've been prepping to prep, okay? Because this recipe, if there's anything that I've learned about baking, it's that read the recipe like 10,000 times. Read the recipe 3 days before you're ever going to make it, because it's just so much, okay? Like this needs, the cake needs, first of all, they also, I'm pretty sure this is like sponsored by Kerrygold Butter, which I love Kerrygold Butter. It's amazing. We have Kirkland's signature grass-fed butter, which is basically the same thing in my mind, okay? That's none of my business. We're using Costco brand, okay? We're doing the same thing, but I think the point is, like, it needs to be like the high quality grass-fed butter. That's what I'm thinking. It also says unsalted. I'm using salted. I'll keep an eye on that. Don't worry. But I was prepping stuff because you need softened butter. You need room temp eggs. You need 5 room temp eggs. And you need room temp buttermilk. So everything has just been sitting here hanging out for like most of the morning. Trying to get it to room temp. Also, I am like a big person of don't buy an ingredient just for one thing. And my beef with buttermilk is that I don't have a lot of uses for it. So many years ago, I found a substitution that said that you could just add like vinegar or lemon juice to regular milk, and that would make buttermilk, and that would work fine. So that's exactly why this milk here is thick. Okay, do you see this? Thick milk. Okay, I just did, it needed 1.25 cups of buttermilk. So I just took 2% milk, cut it with heavy cream because I have a bunch of heavy cream. Added in like a little less than, maybe like 1/8 cup of vinegar, and it just let sit out, and that's what we got. Okay, that's what we're working with. It'll work just fine. Maybe it'll ruin the whole thing. That to me is just the process of baking. That's always how it goes for me, but that's fine. So let's just get started. We're gonna start on the cake because that's what's first. The first part also says we need to make something and then chill it for 20 to 30 minutes. Do you see what I'm saying when I say that this is going to take us so long? Is it worth it? I don't know. But I love a challenge. Okay? And it has a lot of parts. So, let's go. I'm also not putting this in my stand. We're just going to go off of this too. Also, if you don't get Southern Living for their recipes, what are you doing? They also have like the cutest home decor. She's a good magazine. Y'all are sleeping on print, okay? While we're here, I'm just going to show you the whole recipe so you can like pause it, screenshot it. I'm not gatekeeping this, okay? And let me tell you, It's a long recipe. Do what you need. Get it going. Let me move my hands. Press it down. Get all the good stuff. I got my watch. She's cute, right? The time's wrong, but it's fine. Is that the last part of the recipe? Look at how good these look. Oh my god. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, but it's a lot. You see? So, we have to start here. Some of this is for cupcake versions. Like, they give you a lot of variety. We're doing the hard one. Why? Because we're overachievers, baby. Okay? We're going to start, what did it say? 325. Okay. 325. Boom. Let's get it going. Alright, we're going to start. Cook butter in a saucepan. It says a light colored saucepan. Do you know why that is? It's because it wants you to be able to see the color change. But you can keep an eye on it. Get it done. Just watch it. But we need to take 10 tablespoons of butter. That's a lot. But it's fine. Live your life, people. Eat as much butter as you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. This is always how I like to do it because I don't love cutting through the paper. I just score like that general area. And then once I see where the mark is, I'll take the paper off and then cut it. So we're doing 10 tablespoons of butter in the pan on, what did I say, medium heat? Yeah. We're browning butter. Easy. You know, let's not say easy a lot because you know this is going to go downhill quickly if I keep saying that. The whole point is we're making brown butter cake. So instead of just using regular butter, we're browning the butter first. And then we're going to cream butter and sugar together. So we're basically heating it up to brown it. Then we're going to re-solidify it so it's like solid-ish, room-ish temp butter. And then we're going to start making a cake. That's all we're really doing. I'm going to keep my eye on this. But I'm also going to start the cranberry orange filling. Because it seems pretty standard. It says it takes 45 minutes though, which is crazy. That seems like a long time. I'm just going to get out a bunch of pots because we're going to need them. While we watch her do her thing, let's see. She's looking gorge. Getting nice and melted. We're going to get out cranberries. I'm using fresh. You can use frozen. Live your life. We're going to rinse. We need 2.5 cups of these. I'm just going to put them in the pot. Okay? Easy peasy. I'm also going to measure them like this. This just makes it easier for me to also know how many I need to clean. 2. Do y'all see that? Stray cranberries disappearing. 2.5 cups. You should also clean them because any of these like little shrivelly guys, anything looking like that, get rid of it. What happened to the bag? It's over there. Okay. This is getting feisty. Y'all hear that? We're just getting her stirred down. Medium heat. We're browning butter. She's looking gorge. Have I ever mentioned I hate cooking on my induction stove? Alright, clean in there. These are from Jersey. Look, we got Jersey cranberries. Oh my god, they're from Jersey. Wild. Stir together cranberries, orange zest, juice, salt, and sugar in medium saucepan. Cook over medium, stirring often until sugar is dissolved. Yeah, like cranberry sauce. Alright. I'm watching you. Get out of here. The one thing you don't want to do is like think that this is going to be fast. Like, don't try to rush this, because I have found that brown butter can quickly go from brown butter to burnt butter. And because this is such like a vital part of our dish, we're just going to be patient and watch it. But we wanted to definitely get that nice depth of color, because it adds this like nutty kind of like just like depth that we really want to pull out of this and get into it. Like, it's gotten kind of frothy on top, so it's a little hard to see the color, but you can see when I move it, I can see that nice golden color. And I don't want this to go much further than this. It almost smells kind of like caramelly. So I've turned the heat off. Obviously my top is going to have some like residual heat coming through. So I'm just going to keep it going and keep an eye on it to still get a little bit more of that flavor. But this is pretty good. We will just move it off the heat here. And then we're going to put it in a heat safe container in the fridge to chill, back kind of to room temp. You see it poking out there? She's gorge. That's what we're looking for. Alright, I'm just giving that one last stir. Let's see how good I can do this. That's her. She smells so good. Alright. Into the fridge. Now we're going to start working on our cranberries. Cranberry filling. We got some cranberries. We need 2 teaspoons of grated orange zest. So I'm just going to zest right into the pot. The thing I keep looking for is to not break through. So I'm looking for these parts and not breaking through to that super white part. Because once you break through to that, it kind of becomes bitter. We don't want that. We want to keep it nice and bright and orange tasting. See all that? We'll scrape that off then, don't worry. Orange zest, like the zest of citrus, are just so much more flavorful because they have oil in them that adds this really nice kind of pungent like pop of flavor. That's what. What if we did it like this? Did they teach you this in culinary school? Bring it around town. I am going to scrape this, get all that extra out of there and into the pot. Perfect. Alright, then we need some juice. My juicer does not fit her. Okay, she's having a moment. So we're just going to hand squeeze. I just keep my other hand underneath here in case there's like some stray big things of pulp, because oranges don't really have seeds in them. So now we are adding in 3/4 cup of sugar and a little pinch of salt. So we're going to do a little bit of salt. I'm going to get this on medium-high heat. And then we are going to do 1/4 cup, 3 of these, with some granulated sugar. 1, 2, boom. All right, let's get her warmed up. I honestly already had the thought while making this that I should also be making the cranberry sauce at the same time. And here's why I have decided not to do that. Because I know myself. I know I will get them mixed up. They're going to look exactly the same until we move on to the next step. So let's not make it hard on ourselves. Let's not try to do too much. We're just going to do one cranberry thing at a time because my luck, I'll make cranberry sauce into cranberry orange filling. And we don't want that, so we're sticking with this. It's getting a little, you'll hear it start to pop. Because my shirt is light, I'm going to pop an apron on for this so I don't stain it. Because these can go flying. And we don't want that. Okay. And then we'll move on to the next part. But basically we're going to heat this up 10 to 12 minutes. Until the sugars dissolve and all the cranberries are mostly burst. Let's do it. This is where the cranberry mixture's at. About 8 minutes later. You can see a lot of the cranberries are still kind of whole, but they're all popped and soft and all the sugar's dissolved. So we're going to pop this in the blender now until it's smooth, and then we're going to get it nice and strained through a fine mesh strainer. All right, so we have our smooth cranberry mixture. Now we're going to take 1/4 cup of sugar. And how much? 2 1/4 teaspoons. That is like so oddly specific. Whisk together cornstarch and 1/4 cup of sugar in a large bowl. Oh, this is not a large bowl. Read the instructions. I'm just going to leave out all the bowls. You know we're going to need them. Okay. Sugar. Then we're going to do 2 1/4 teaspoons. Whatever you say. This is a 1/2 teaspoon, by the way. 1/2 1/4. All right, whisk. Whisk. From what I am looking at, it kind of, I believe we're like making a custard type thing. I have no idea. I'm living for it though. Okay. Then we need 2 eggs and an egg yolk. Not the room temp ones, may I add. Eggs. We have so many. I'm also quickly going to check on the butter because I just thought about it. Oh, she's getting there. She's looking good. Okay, 2 eggs. There's 1, 2, and I'll show you how we do the yolk. Okay, so I'm going to show you with this one because I'm going to do it over the sink because we don't want the white. But we're just going to let the white drop out separate from the shell. You see how I do that? And then if you still have some white left, you can pass it back and let it sort of hang off the edge. That's how you separate them in the shell. You just got to get like a nice crack, and then you can pass it back and forth till the white falls off. But since we need just the yolk. I'm going to let the yolk go down the sink because I don't have a use for it. Okay, I broke my yolk, but at the last second, so don't panic. That happens all the time. If you're weirded out by meat like me too, I also wash my hands after eggs. That's just me. Okay. Gradually whisk in eggs and egg yolk. And then we're going to gradually whisk in the cranberry mixture. Okay. So let's get these bad boys whisked in here. Are we ever going to heat this up? Yes. And then we are putting this in a saucepan. So it's giving custardy vibes. Okay, then we're just going to kind of gradually work this in too. I'm just going to do a couple scoops at a time, you know? Because this stuff is thick. See how it thickened that up so quickly? The color's pretty though. Alright. We are going to get this whisked up back on the stove. Alright, our butter has solidified, has come back to room temp-ish. It's still cold, but our brown butter's ready, and we just finished it is like a custard. It's like a cranberry orange custard, really it is. She's nice and thick. She's gorgeous, but she needs to go in a heat-safe bowl. So I'm just going to pop her in this, and then it needs like saran wrap or cling film directly on top. And that's because we don't want it to get like this layer of like film on top, you know, like how it can kind of like harden or get watery. We don't want none of that. So we're going to get this out of here. Nice and flat on the top. Very good. And then we're going to take some of this and just lay it not on top of the bowl, like literally lay it on top. Press it flat onto the surface. And then into the fridge. And we're not thinking about her again until we assemble. But this is our filling. Done. I love. Right now, I kind of want to get started on the cake because the stuff's out. The stuff is out and about. We need to clean some dishes first. But we're going to beat the butter with an electric mixer until creamy, and then add sugar and orange zest. So let's get us a bowl. Let's get out the electric mixer, and then we will reconvene, you and I. I come to you with creamy, beaten, browned butter. Now we're going to add sugar and orange zest to this, and then keep mixing her with the hand mixer. We need 2 2/3 cup of sugar. Oh my god. Y'all, did I ever tell you this cake was healthy? Because I shouldn't have if I did. Is that all the sugar goes in? My god. Oh yeah. Y'all ready for this? Do you know what y'all are getting for the holidays? Diabetes. My god. 1. Holy Hannah. 2. This seems kind of crazy. I'm double checking this. 2 2/3 cup of granulated sugar and a teaspoon of orange zest. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Okay. 1/3 of a cup. This is almost... That's almost 3 cups of sugar. That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. Okay. And then orange zest. Same thing we did last time. I'm just going right in. Perfect. Okay. About a teaspoon. Now we are going to beat this until it's nice and fluffy. Alright, we had a little bit of a spraying moment, but we got it done. She's nice and fluffy and sugary. Nice, light, fluffy. We made a little bit of a mess. That's fine. Okay. Now we want to do... We need 1/2 cup of vegetable oil and 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla. So we need 1/2 cup. I'm just going to eyeball the vanilla extract. Measure with your heart. And then it says to do the eggs one at a time until it's fully combined, and then scrape down the sides. So we're going to do this, get it homogeneous, then 1 egg at a time. We'll bring it back when we have a completed wet mixture, okay? Giant egg sugar mixture done, okay? Now, in a separate bowl, we're going to do dry ingredients. Cornstarch, flour, cinnamon, baking powder, salt, baking soda. This is multiple parts. Do I think I have a bowl even big enough to do this? No, but we're going to keep going. We don't really have a choice. We have second big bowl. Now we need 3.5 cups of flour, 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm just going to start with my cornstarch because it's here. 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. 1.5. Baking soda. 3/4 tablespoon of salt. I'm just going to eyeball that. And I'm not even going to put that much because I use salted butter instead of regular butter. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, we are not going to get these mixed up. 1 teaspoon baking powder. This is 1/2, so we're doing 2. Don't panic. Baking powder. Baking soda. 1/2 teaspoon. Cinnamon. And the flour. Okay. Cinnamon, I'm measuring with my fork because I love her. And then 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Sometimes I pick it up and I can see there's a hole, like it didn't fill the whole way back. Got to go back for more. That's 3, and then I need 1/2. This one I'm not eyeballing. I'm doing 2/4 because I don't know where the 1/2 cup is. Alright. The dry ingredients. Done. And then we're combining the buttermilk and cream in a bowl. How much cream do we need? 1/4 cup? I'm just adding it right in there. I've got 1 1/4 cups of room temp buttermilk here. So, and then it says 1/4 cup of heavy cream. So we're just gonna fill her up to the 1/2 mark. Mix her in there. There's gotta be more to this. Do you see how, okay, we have 3 things. This is just for the cake part, may I remind you. To everyone who loves baking, you're insane. I love you so much. With mixer on low speed, add flour mixture to butter mixture. So what do we do with this? Coat round cake pans with baking spray. Divide batter. Spread evenly. Tap pan on counter. Bake. Let cool. So this has to go in because it doesn't tell you ever to add this in. It says combine buttermilk and cream in a medium bowl. And then it says with mixer on low speed, add flour mixture to butter mixture. Alternately with buttermilk mixture. Okay. Obviously, these are all already really full. So I'm going to get a Okay, it's the fun part where we're actually going to bake stuff. This batter tastes incredible, okay? I'm so pumped about it. So, we're going to prep the pans. I have 2 matching Great Jones ones, but I want all 3 to bake at the same time. So, I have a 3rd one. I know it's a little different, and I know it'll probably bake differently then, but c'est la vie. Okay, I'm going to show you how we're going to prep the pans. This is also what the instructions said to do. So I'm going to take parchment paper and I am going to crumple it up so it fits nicer in the pan, and we're going to cut a circle. So we're going to press it into the bottom of the pan where it's meeting all those bottom corners. Then I'm just going to take a small like paring knife and I'm going to run it along the edge and turn so that it cuts out a circle for the bottom of the pan. And make sure it's pressed into the edges before you cut it, or you're going to get some wonky edges. I am indeed getting some of them wonky edges. Okay. Circle. Now, we are going to take cooking spray. You could do butter. I've done butter with this too. This recipe specifically said cooking spray, so I'm using cooking spray. We're going to spray her down. And then we're just going to place our parchment in the bottom so it's nice and stuck there. Our pan is prepped. Then we are going to do that for each pan and then divide up the batter into all three. And then we are going to bake them for 30 minutes. It says 30 to 32. If we were really smart, we would have weighed the bowl beforehand. Then we would know how much our batter weighed and we could like divide it and then have perfectly even ones. We didn't do that, so we're just going with it, okay? Nothing wrong with that. We're starting with some in each one. I still kind of got like a good amount in here. At this point, I'm gonna get these evened out, see where we're at height-wise in each one. Because they're the exact same diameter, they are slightly different depths. The Great Jones ones are a little bit more deep. So I just want to get these to the edge without moving the parchment around too much, you know? This one definitely doesn't have a lot, but I at least want to get it to the edges. Helps with the parchment moving around. Okay. Now that I'm not so worried about the parchment moving around, this one needs more. This one needs a lot more. You need like, yeah. We're all kind of playing catch up to you, my friend. You need like, all right, we're just going to get these nice and evened out. And then we're going to smack them on the counter, make sure all those air bubbles are out. And like I said, I'm actually probably going to set my timer for like 25 minutes and check on them, because 30 to 32 is like kind of such a short range and everyone's oven is so different. I just get really kind of panicked about that. So, okay. In the oven, 325. We're starting at 25 minutes. The cakes are baking. The icing only takes like 10 minutes, so I'm going to make it right before I assemble the cake tomorrow, and I'll just bring you along for that. But right now, the only other thing we have left to do is make these white chocolate leaves for like the flower assembly. One of the things though, here's why you need to read the recipe like 100 times, is it said bay leaves. So we bought dried bay leaves. It needs fresh bay leaves. We're just going to use the dry. See how it goes. So, and it also said white chocolate melting wafers. They didn't have that at the store. So we just have regular white chocolate. We are going to melt it in the microwave and see how this goes, people, okay? Just roll with it. It's fine. We're all learning together. Okay, we're going to start. This is the giant container of dried bay leaves we have. So, first you need to coat the bay leaves in cooking oil. Our lovely assistant, Erin, is here to help. So, I think I'm going to do the baking chips. I don't know. For some reason, I just have more faith that these are going to melt a little bit better. So, Erin can spray bay leaves and put them in here.
Just one side, right?
Yeah. Just to, like, you only need to dip one side. So, and then I'm just microwave melting. I'm just putting the chocolate in for 30-second increments. until it's melted. So you can see it's like starting. Oh yeah, white chocolate is so easy to melt. That's also, it's so easy to crystallize. So just be cautious. I'm gonna do like 15-second increments now just to keep my eye on it. Because we want it liquidy, but not so bad. My concern about the dried ones now is that they're not gonna peel off so great. But we're gonna work with what we got. Because we're not going back to the store when we have 9,000 dried ones. It didn't like that. Okay. We got like kind of crystallized parts. See, we're going to work with what we got. Okay. So I'm going to try with like a regular size one first. And it says to just dip grease side of bay leaves into white chocolate. Spread coating using fingers if needed. Okay. So try to just stay away from that stuff. Like, they do make it seem like it's kind of a thin coating, but that seems counterproductive to me. It also is sliding off of the bay leaf. I don't know why I'm just feeling like this might work.
It might actually.
Cake has like 5 minutes left, and that's why we waited this long to prep my cranberry sauce for Christmas. It's like the easiest thing. I know we all have nostalgia for the canned cranberry sauce. I love the canned one too, but this is better. That's all I'm saying. And it's so easy. I don't know why y'all aren't making it. You can make it like 3 days in advance. You can make it so far in advance. I recommend doing it like at least the day before so it can sit and chill. But it's just a bag of cranberries. We're going to do 2/3 cup sugar. And then, easiest thing ever, orange juice. We're doing 1/2 cup orange juice, 1/2 cup water. Okay, so you just pop those in, let it cook down. That's basically it. The only other thing I do, I pop a cinnamon stick in here. I used to also put ground cinnamon in it, but I got feedback from the fam that it was very cinnamon. I love the cinnamon. They do not. Okay, so I'm just going to take one big Costco cinnamon stick, pop her in half, give her a little chiropractic appointment, pop it in there, and a little pinch of salt to balance it out. Cook it down, take the cinnamon stick out, put it in the fridge. Done. That's it. I explained all that to you. The cake still has 2 minutes left. Okay, it's the easiest. And then I didn't get it confused with the filling. Genius. Timer just went off. Oh yeah. You cannot see. That's how hot the oven is. Give her a moment. They're definitely, the top one is like they're brown on the edges. But let's check in her middle here. I don't know. These are the kind that's like deceptive. Can you see? It's hard to see, but she's got a little bit of stuff on her. I'm gonna give this like another 2 minutes. We'll come back. These are definitely not done on the bottom. The top one's getting there. The first one's out. You can see how it nicely pulled away from the edges. It's not super brown on top though, but when I do toothpick, solid, nothing comes out. So, and the edges are nice and brown. So, this one's done. The other two are just finishing up. They just need a couple more minutes. We're going to let those cool. And then that's probably going to be it for today. I'm just going to let these out, let them cool. I'm going to cover them. And we'll see you tomorrow for assembly. See how she goes. But then we will have full cake. We will see our success. We will see you then. Hi everyone, it's the next day. You can tell by the fact that I've changed my outfit. And my hair. And that I'm exhausted because I have worked a full day and now we're going to finish this cake. Okay, I let these sit out. Okay, so they kind of dried out a little bit, which I wanted. Here's my theory, okay? Hold on, this one has like a pimple that I need to take off. You know, it had like a little imperfection. That's just me. That's just so me. Okay, anyways. Cake. I let them sit out uncovered and they dried out a little bit. I honestly thought, what if we did like a DJ moment? Anyways, I thought that would help because we're going to layer this up and no one's going to eat it until at least Wednesday. I don't know if anyone will eat it tomorrow night. I'm thinking Wednesday. So I figured it was better to let the cake dry out and then get all that moisture in it from the icing and the filling. But we have to make the icing and then assemble it and then we're done. This is my little travel cake container that we will be using to transport it. So we're going to assemble it on that. Erin so graciously took a lot of the bay leaves off and they worked pretty dang well, except because we didn't use like the disc chocolate, it kind of got soft and we did end up having to put them in the fridge. So I'm a little worried that they're kind of gonna, but we're gonna roll with it. All right, let's get into it. First thing we're gonna do is make the whipped cream frosting. I put this off till today because the recipe says it takes 10 minutes. You just put everything in the bowl and we're gonna blend it together with the electric mixer. It's 3 3/4 cups of heavy whipping cream, a cup of powdered sugar, a 1/3 cup of white chocolate instant pudding mix, and then salt. Here is our dilemma. We do have pudding mix. I'm a little concerned about it because I would have liked to use the chemically Jello one, I like that stuff and I think it works great. We're using this plant-based sugar-free one that was the only thing they had at Whole Foods, and that's just how we got to live our lives. So 2 packs of that. We're going to see how it goes. The thing that I'm worried about is that it says that the pudding mix is what stabilizes it, and if this doesn't work out, we're going to have like a runny ass cake, which is not cool. So, it just says combine, beat with an electric mixer until it's just about thickened, and then it says use immediately, okay? Let's get into it. Let's see how it goes. Pinch of salt. Two packs of pudding mix. Do y'all think this is gonna work? Because I'm not saying this is a bad product, but sometimes there's just something about like a chemically packaged thing that really makes the world go round, you know, really makes baking just work for us. And I'm into that sometimes. You know, like don't sleep on a Kraft single piece of cheese. Like we all know that's not cheese. So like just rock with it, you know what I'm saying? Wow, that was the perfect amount. That's wild. Okay. Everything in the bowl. This is so much. Is that right? 3 3/4 cups. Wow. I think we're gonna make a lot of frosting. This doesn't even go like inside, you know? It goes cake, filling, and then you just like put this on the outside. So I think we're gonna have a little extra. Okay, I'm gonna whip this together. We'll circle back when we're assembling the cake. Okay, I will see you then. She's gorge. She's nice and thick. It's like a whipped cream frosting. She's good. Okay, I was reading the recipe again. How many times are we going to have this conversation? You need to look at the recipe 100 times. We are putting a little bit of the icing in between the layers to hold the curd in, okay? So we are going to need a piping bag, which in this house is a gallon bag, and then we are going to start assembling. It also says to cut the layers so that they are like even. We're not going to do that. We're going to fill in the gaps with icing and filling, and that's the way we're going to keep this nice and square. Circle, whatever. We're getting a bunch of utensils. Our filling looks insane. It's like so pink. Can you see that? It's so pretty. Are you excited? I'm excited. Here is Picasso. Here's our canvas. Let's put cake down. My theory is that you should always put your thickest layer on the bottom because it takes the most weight. So in my mind, that just makes the most sense. Who can take me? She's golden. She's gorge. She smells like cinnamon. Okay. I don't think this is straight, but neither am I, so that's fine. Okay. I was checking to see, you know how sometimes they put like a little blurb? We're going to do that. Just hold it in place. She looks good. Remember, we're going to make a mess before we clean it up, which is fine. So, it says we're doing like a very thin layer of frosting over the top. And then I'm using, here's the other flop moment for me. I don't have an icing knife. So we're going to use a butter knife and roll with it, okay? In this house, you roll with so much. And honestly, I think an icing knife and the back of a butter knife work the same in my mind. Not the front part. That's like fake sharp. The back, you know? A little crumb coating of icing. And then we're going to, it says, cut a 1/2 inch hole. So we're going to like put some in here, get a nice thickum scoop in here. Yeah. To do the edges Anything left in here, I'm just going to put on the outside. So I'd rather put too much in here than not enough and have to refill it. Amazing. Are you ready? 1/2 inch. Don't get that in the cake. Okay. Are you ready? It's getting real wavy back here. Thank God we don't do zoomed in shots on this. Okay, now we've made like our goodiness trench. It says spread half the filling. Because there's only 2 layers. Oh, whoa. Dang. All right. Layer her up, mama. Get into it. It's really thick, so I may really load her up. You know, I am slightly worried about spillage, but also I want everyone to taste this filling because it's so good. This is working. Wow. If only my career could be as successful as this cake is right now. That actually looks insanely good. Okay. Wow. I'm going to let you zoom in on the next layer. And then we're going to come back. We're going to do some stuff. Now you may be asking, Clarissa, why did you put it on that way? And I'm going to tell you, I don't know. To me, it felt right. So that's what we did. Okay? We're going to do our little crumb coating of icing again. Just a nice little thin layer. If I have extra, I'll just put it back. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Much more where that came from. You ready for this? That's pretty slay. Okay. More filling. She's wobbly. She's a little bit moving and shaking for my liking. Okay, so we're going to put the last layer on top now. Once we put the last, hang on, she's sticking. Okay, final layer's going on. Once we have this, right? She's gorge. She's tall. This cake is a whole ass moment, honestly. We're going to do a light coating of everything. So we're doing like a crumb coat. And then it says to chill it for 30 minutes, okay? So we're going to do crumb coat. Honestly, I'm nervous. This doesn't even fit in the closed enclosure. If that's the case, we have a whole different problem on our hands. But we will get this done. I can see it sliding. You don't need to tell me. I got you. Is this what is considered a crumb coating? I have no idea. My goal is to just get the whole shebang coated in some form, enclosed. You know what I'm saying? We want to get her locked in. We're going to fill in all these gaps. I think that's part of the crumb coating process. Filling in the holes. Okay. I think we're going to do that. Put her in the fridge. Let her chill for 30 minutes. I got icing on me. It's fine. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. While you were gone, I made bagels. Well, I made bagel dough. We're going to make bagels tomorrow. I don't know if you'll see that or not. Sometimes I just gotta cook. But let's get it out. Let's finish this cake, everyone. Whew! She's giant. She's gorge. I will say my biggest complaint as of late is that the icing kind of, like whipped cream, got like over whipped, and now it's a little bit not soft, which kind of gives the cake this like honestly kind of ugly texture that I'm not super thrilled about. But how were we to know? How were we to know? You know? So now we're just gonna get her nice and coated so you can't see no cake. I also don't know how like bakers and such do this, because you need like a 360 visual on this at all times. You know? Just constantly going around in circles. The biggest thing is I need more frosting around the bottom. I know I'm taking from the top. We'll put some more back, don't worry. Honestly, our biggest W so far is the fact that I haven't seen any of the filling come out of the sides, which was really a big worry for me, because I was worried that it's like hot pink. I was so worried that it was going to get out of the sides and then show up in the frosting and just be so blatantly obvious and ugly and like not know what to do. But we are getting there. Okay. Now we just have to even out the top, which has a ton of icing on it. So we need to move that around, you know? A little off the sides, a little off the top, a little 1-2. That's pretty good. I'm going to clean up the edges. I'm just going to get a damp paper towel, get all the little bits of frosting and crumbs that are like down here on this, and get those off. And then on the magazine, they put these like circular kind of layers in the cake. And I think that might, I'm going to get a clean knife for this. I love that my Alexa says 3 easy tips for cake decorating. Like, don't come for me like that. So, there's Yours looks so smooth. That's not the same icing. That's a lie. They lied to me. Anyways, okay. We're gonna use like the front. I want to see like, can we get, because the cake is kind of, it's leaning. Do you see that? I don't know. Do we even attempt? It has these like layers in it like this. I'm kind of thinking if I do it, it's just gonna make the cake look weird because the icing is weird. We're gonna do a little test zone. No. It doesn't look the same because we're having problems with the icing. So we're adapting. We're leaving her as is. We're going to put on our poinsettia and we're going to call her a day. Okay? And we only have enough to make one poinsettia. So we're putting her smack dab in the middle of our cake. All right? I'm going to start by putting like a little circle to build upon on the top. Okay? So I just did like a little springy circle thing. Our leaves turned out so beautiful. Some of them broke, but do you see that? It has the leaf texture in it. It's so pretty. But they are, because they are white chocolate and not the white melting chocolate, they are very, very heat sensitive. So I have like 4 really pretty ones for the top. And then the other 4 I'm going to kind of create the underneath with. So they said to do like a 4 and 4, and then any kind of leftover ones I'm going to add underneath. But see how they have green ones? They never tell you how to have the green ones. I don't know if they left the bay leaves on some, but that wasn't a part of my journey, okay? I also don't have the little, whatchamacallit, like the little gold balls that they have. So we're just going to improvise. I'm just kind of tucking these underneath in fun little spots. That looks so pretty. Okay, we're going to do just like a blob in the center. I'm going to see if I have anything that I could put. I was thinking I had leftover cranberries, and I don't. So let's see what we got, and we'll add those on top. And then we'll get a finished look at this cake. Okay, so I found some sprinkles. I just did kind of like a center dollop of cream, and then there's like some flowers. There's like these big orange ones. If I do the orange, that's kind of boring. What about the little hearts? I think that looks cute. Alrighty. This is it. This is my cake. It's a little lopsided. It weighs like 900 pounds. It smells delicious. Happy Christmas, everybody! Thank y'all so much for going on this journey. You can see why this is cooking with Clark most of the time and not baking. But this always reminds me why I put effort in one time a year. Something special. Something to learn. Something always worth bringing something new to the table, right? So happy holidays to everybody. And I will see you next week back here at the table. Bye, everybody.